Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome to Draw Me Kids Edition, episode 82. Leaves.
We're getting near the end of fall here, and Miss Rainbows loves to collect them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought, let's do an episode on how to draw leaves. And as you're going to learn, it's pretty easy to do with some basic shapes and some observation. So grab your pens, pencils, erasers, paper, and let's go.
Well, it's lucky I put it on my page.
Yeah, we're doing leaves.
And yeah, my first trivia question.
Your first trivia question, then I'll start drawing.
I think I told this fact to T, who's watching.
Somebody's got an advantage?
That is part of one of my presentations.
Okay.
It's true or false. Green is the actual color of the leaves. Yeah. I thought she'd be watching too.
So, green, true or false, green is the actual color of leaves. That's a good question. I like it.
Put the trivia timer.
Goodness me, no more snacks for you. All right, you. Trivia timer. She's excited. She's ready to go. Timer. I just put trivia timer and I didn't find it. Here we go. 2 minutes.
That's the one.
Oh my goodness. Guys, brace your ears. It's going to be loud. Okay. It scares me, this one, every single time. All right, so let's get to drawing. Leaves are really cool because they come in so many different shapes and patterns, and they all start off with very similar basic shapes, which is what I love about drawing leaves. And if you're drawing a big picture of a tree or a big scene, you don't have to draw every single itty bitty leaf. Leaves can sort of, you just give the impression with just sort of brush strokes, and you can sort of have a pattern of leaves. I'll show you that later though.
What I do is I do a big fluffy thing.
Big fluffy tree, yep.
And then I put the trunk.
Yep.
Sometimes I add little things in there to make it look like little bunches of leaves.
We're not doing it later, we're doing it right now. Miss Rainbows is showing you right now how to draw a tree. So you don't have to do every single leaf. But if you're doing a single leaf, or you want to get right up close, leaves are a couple of basic shapes. You can start with an oval. I'm going to do it very dark so you can see. If you're using pencils and drawing along, just lightly draw that oval. And if you want to draw something like a birch leaf or an aspen leaf, these are two trees we have here in Canada, and you can probably find it in the States. I know there's another leaf Miss Rainbows wants to draw, which is an oak leaf. They're hard. Start with your oval, and you can put a little triangle on one end. And if you're really good and you're like a regular artist, you could probably do this all like a teardrop in one
Timer
motion.
warning.
Timer warning. 2, 1.
Was muted.
I was scared.
Everything was muted.
I know. I was streaming on Twitch earlier today, so I had different settings, which is part of it. So, timer's up. What's the answer to the trivia question? True or false? Anybody have a guess?
Final guess time.
Final guess, true or false? The real color of leaves is green. The actual color of leaves is green. So, there's just a very, very basic, simple shape of a leaf.
The answer is
And here comes the answer. Oh,
false.
Gosh. False.
The actual color of the leaves is the ones that you see in fall.
Yep.
Because they're only green because of the nutrients and things that they collect from the tree.
Yeah. So the chlorophyll, the process of gathering it turns them green, and then when that process shuts down for the fall, it drains away all that green from the chlorophyll, and it turns the leaves into the actual color that they are. I think that's kind of cool. So if you want to do details on this leaf, you can start to add little bumps on the edges if you want, or you can just leave it like that. Like maybe it's got tiny little triangles on one edge. Maybe you have a really wild leaf. I'm going to do the other side, a different type of leaf. Maybe you have a leaf that does this, but you can still follow along the pattern of that oval that you started with. So this is the kind of cool part about starting with the same shape. And then you just start putting little lines, one straight line down, and then like branches like a tree, sort of mimicking the actual tree that it comes from to create the vein. Oh my goodness, hello sir! We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to our stream. You missed our first trivia question. So I just drew two different sides of two different leaves. Put them together. Now, if you're going to take this and turn it into an oak leaf, you can do the same kind of thing. You can sort of do your shape of the oak leaf. So it would be an oval. And then you start with, depending on what kind of oak leaf you're doing, I'll show you the pointy one.
I wanted to do the round one.
You want to do the round one? Well, if you're doing the round one, here is the tip. Instead of doing pointy triangles, you do rounded triangles like that. Okay? And if you think of an oak leaf like a bit like a hand, which is how I draw my maple leaves, is another way I think of my hand. But a hand that's sort of a little stretchy, you follow along and make fingers on the hand. So I'm doing the bumpies with this rainbows because that's what she asked to do. And then you sort of make it symmetrical-ish. So you want to sort of make it even on both sides of how many bumps you're going to do. And that is your oak leaf. And your veins of the oak leaf would follow the bumps. Like that. So that's the bumpy kind. And if you're doing the pointy kind, instead of rounding those edges, I'm just going to go back over exactly the same shapes I created. You make them into points. And sometimes for variety, you're going to find leaves that are mostly symmetrical, but once in a while you'll find one that's just a little bit on the edge like that. So that is a really easy way to try and emulate an oak leaf, is to start with your oval. And sometimes you'll see oak leaves, they kind of get a little bit wider here, and then they get a little smaller as they go, so you can vary that up. You just sort of observe the leaf that you're going to draw. That's sort of a weird leaf I got going there. Observe the leaf you're going to draw and sort of mimic their patterns. And it always starts off with one simple shape. We did a whole series we did a whole episode last year for Canada Day on how to draw a maple leaf because, well, it was Canada Day. And I find that the maple leaf is probably one of the harder ones to draw, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just sort of a recap of what we did.
One of my favorite leaves.
You gonna draw your favorite leaf? What are you drawing? Oh, I see. You're drawing one of the little leaves.
What I do for this one is I do gaps between, and then I fill out the gaps to make it look like the leaf.
I like a laurel. A laurel. That's what they have for Hades. They have laurels. Olive branches. What What do you think of the new overhead, guys? Do you like that view? Can you see Miss Rainbow's picture better? I know you don't get to see her face as often, but we're trying this out.
My second trivia question. What is the use for the branches on a tree? A, to collect nutrients. B is to spread out the leaves. And C is there are parts of the trunk, but the tree couldn't get taller. So they split apart.
Keep going. I'm trying not to distract you.
I'm done.
Oh, that's it. I missed it. So it's to gather nutrients?
To spread out the
To
leaves,
spread out the leaves?
or just because it's a part of the trunk that didn't grow in the trunk.
Okay. So A, B, or C? What do you think it is? So if you're trying to draw, I'm just drawing plot points here for drawing my maple leaf. So you can get the triangles of a maple leaf by drawing the middle line. And then it helps you plot out where all of those lovely points on a maple leaf go. Whoops, I kind of over-exaggerated. That's fine. Because we're kind to our paintings and ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I started drawing maple leaves, was just to sort of plot those points. It's not the best looking maple leaf right now because, I don't know, just didn't turn out the right way. But that's sort of what we do. Nutrients. We've got to guess for nutrients. And the branches are, but this is for the branches. This is for the branches.
You did put the trivia timer on.
Oh, that's fine. I will put it to a minute here. So we'll give you 1 minute here. All right, 53 seconds. We got a yes! Yay! Maybe we're a little bit off, and you mean like off lip sync and camera view. It's also possible. So, I'm going to show something cool about leaves and how you might paint them while we're answering our thing. So if you want to do like a yellow leaf, I'm going to do like a birch leaf here. One of the things that I would recommend doing is leaves are translucent. Do you know what translucent means, Miss Rainbows?
Translucent means it's not fully solid.
Not fully solid, that's right. It lets some light through. So
The answer to
I'm
our
going to give you your
trivia
answer to the trivia question, and I'll continue.
is B. They're there to spread out the leaves. Because it's the leaves that collect the nutrients.
Aha. So nutrients is partly right, but the branches are actually to spread the leaves out so they can better gather the nutrients.
Yeah.
She got me with that one, because I said nutrients too. I thought, nutrients. So when you're painting a leaf, or coloring a leaf, it has color. You can do it with green as well. The leaf itself would depend on where the light is coming from on the leaf. So this is sort of for some of my more advanced artist friends, or even the ones that are beginning and want to, learn something different, is you just start with very light color and that as your base for your leaf, because maybe you have the light shining through it, or when you're looking at it, it might pick up the color of the other leaves on the ground and just by sort of the way the light shines through it. But I always like to have it like sunlight's coming through, or you can see the translucency of the leaf. So I'd start with that kind of light color, and then I'd bring in, I don't know if I want, I kind of want an orange here, so sort of like a dark orange brown. And the most dark part of the leaf is the veins of the leaf, so how it transports its nutrients. So you would have a more solid, whether you want to use a brown, or if you're doing a green leaf, you'd use a dark green. And that would be the part of the leaf that is darker when you're painting or when you're coloring your leaf. And depending on how close up you are, you can add much more veining to the leaf.
I made 2 leaves telling a joke.
2 leaves telling a joke. Oh goodness. Well, you can't just say that and then not tell us the joke.
I know. I'll tell you when I finish the
She's
drawing.
going to tell us when she finishes the drawing. So if we're going to do, yellow was what I started with. And then I would show you my color picker. I liked going for a yellow that's a bit more like that. So I might pick, it's kind of almost orangey. So then you can start doing your edging a bit with the yellow. And if you have one side that's facing down, you can start putting some of that shadow in. But because leaves are just sort of like, you could add your rendition of the audio. Do 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 do. Talk to my little manager here. Hey.
What?
My newly minted editor. Hey, Miss Rainbows.
Hey.
And if you're doing sort of a fall wintry scene, then you can start putting behind the leaf different colors, and then let me see if I can show you what I mean. Like you might have a leaf that is back here just chilling. But we're not going to get into details of how it looks because we're just going to be different piles of colors of leaves. I'm just going to try this out. And this is what I mean by, like, you don't have to get really detailed with the leaves either. If your focus is just the one leaf, then you can sort of have everything defocused in the background.
Here's my joke.
There's the joke. Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you over to Miss Rainbows here to show the joke.
What did the singing leaf say in the winter?
What did the singing leaf say in the winter?
It's time to fall in love. Because they fall off the trees for the winter.
Oh, boy. It's time to fall in love. I'm just adding some fall colors in the background of this. Is anybody out there excited for snow?
Me.
You're excited for snow. I am not so sure. I did get new snow pants, so I'm excited to try those out. You know? Trying to get some neutral there, and then what might happen to your leaf if you've got all this beautiful fall stuff happening is you might pick up some of the color, and so you pick a lighter color. I'm going to use this lower opacity, but you might pick up some of the color behind this color. I'm just doodling now. This is the part of the show that I like to do, is just sort of doodle. Just sort of chill and relax. Oh, I don't really want that brush anymore. I want the hard size brush, because then I have a cleaner line. Because we're focused. We're focused on this leaf right here.
I'm making a picture of all the leaves and they're falling asleep. Because they're falling. They're falling asleep. Puns everywhere.
This is what I have to deal with. It's good. Trust me. I think that this stuff is getting a little bit oversaturated. Not that much. Ooh, that's kind of fun. There, just to do something different. And then maybe you have, it's like a cold, frosty day. So you might have just the edge of your leaf. Oops. And sort of have this. What happened to my leaf? Oh, because I'm on the wrong thing. The edge of your leaf would just have this little tiny bit of hair on it. I'm kind of inspired by one of my artist friends who was doing a show on a picture of a leaf that he took that had a little bit of frost on the edge, just like this. So Ms. Rainbow said, "Let's do leaves!" And I said, okay. Maybe you just have a little bit of that frost coming up onto the branch here too. This is all about taking a look at things around you and seeing how things interact and how they look on a quick glance. And when you're drawing stuff, you don't have to be like right in there looking at all the details and making sure every single line is perfect and well placed. It's sort of giving the impression of what you're drawing. So giving the impression of leaves or the colors and shapes. And if you're ever stuck on trying to figure out how to draw something, always go back in your mind and say, well, what basic shape that I know looks similar to what I'm trying to draw? And start from there and start building on that basic shape.
We have some trees near our school that they have these really long leaves that they have, and they're almost like they're seed pod leaves.
Oh, okay.
And it's really cool.
We had a bit of a hiccup there, sorry.
I'm drawing one of them. I'm drawing one of them, and you can see all the little seeds inside.
Oh yeah, like look like pea pods. They're kind of neat. Now, if you are drawing something that is a scene where you see, actually, do I have something? I think I do that I was just working on. Ignore the unicorn. But if you have a scene where you're working on like this kind of landscape, I don't need to put in every single needle on the branch for this guy here, or every single leaf. I just sort of give patterns on the leaves to make it look like, oh yeah, well, you'd have hundreds or thousands of leaves on a tree that overlap and make darker shapes, but you don't necessarily need to see everyone. But it's something that our eyeballs recognize when we look at a tree and we see leaves overlapping. There's dark shapes, there's light shapes, there's things reflecting, but we don't have to see every single leaf. We just know that they're there. So that's sort of kind of what I do to make trees is very much like Miss Rainbow showed, was to do bloop, 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 big sort of cloud-like mark, and then I show some of the branches. In this case, I showed all of the branches. And there's sort of just a weird background. Another weird background. What am I showing? And I think my last favorite one is the news one. So all the trees are back there, and I did come in here and make the pine needles a little bit more individual. So that's kind of a way to do pines. Or not pines, but excuse me, well, I saved that. That's sort of what I mean by, like, give the impression of leaves. You don't have to go, hey, here's a tree, and I need to draw every single leaf on the tree to give it, you know, the look. But if you want to, that's also another interesting way, is just sort of do the edges, like there's the leaves. Which is why we often see people do this, to give the edges of those leaves. But yeah, you could add sort of more of a pointy edge to it to show those leaves, but instead of doing all the shapes, you can just sort of do little tiny triangles on the edge. I think we did an episode about trees too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you have any more trivia? I almost forgot to ask. Usually we have 3 trivia questions.
I do. I have one more trivia question.
One more trivia question.
What are
This is a
the
weird picture.
2 types of trees? Pick 2 answers for this one.
Okay, so pick 2 of the 3 answers.
Of the 4 answers.
4 answers. 2 of the 4 answers. What 2 of the 4 that Miss Rainbows is going to list are actually types of trees?
There is deciduous,
Ooh, deciduous, okay.
plantiferous,
Plantiferous, okay.
coniferous,
Coniferous, okay.
and
Coniferous, coniferous.
and what's the other one?
She can't remember her own trivia question. That's okay. That happens to
And-
all of us. So,
And eucalypti.
and
Or eucalypti.
eucalypti.
There.
Fair enough. So we have, what are 2 types of trees? I don't think we're looking for like types of trees like a pine tree or a maple tree. We're looking for 2 different families of trees.
Yeah.
Which ones are correct? Coniferous, oh no, deciduous, plantiferous, coniferous, and eucalyptus. This could take me forever to just do each. I'm trying to demonstrate how doing it creates a neat effect, though. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool.
I thought, because I've been forgetting to color a lot,
You have been.
that I should color.
Okay. Well, not that you've been forgetting. It's just we've been running out of time. Oh, speaking of time, get that going.
When I'm not manning the trivia timer gets extended.
It scares me. It scares me.
Is that why you're not putting it on right away?
Yep. No, I'm drawing. I get focused.
Well, drawing is good.
I get focused on doing the art. So this is me trying to do like a gazillion little leaves, and it's a neat effect. That's not too bad, but my hand's gonna get sore by the end of this. love drawing trees. Trees are so much fun. Leaves are pretty fun too. I love drawing little fairies, like little tiny fairies. That makes it almost necessary to draw each individual leaf because they're so tiny. The leaf is almost like, you know, a
they
blanket
could use the
or an
leaf
umbrella.
as a house.
That's right, or a house. They would be using that leaf. So this is a cool tree. I'm liking this tree. Then I could draw like this tree. Yeah, it still looks like a tree, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's just the puffy cloud version. And it took me a lot less time. Might do a little bit more like that. Oh, come on. All right, so what are the two types of trees, two families of trees that you can find?
The two families of trees are deciduous, which shed their leaves in the fall, and coniferous that keep them.
So an example of a coniferous or coniferous, as Sophia calls them, tree would be like cedar. Would that count?
Yeah, because if it has the pine needles in it, you see them about at this time of year with their pine needle leaves. That means that they're coniferous or coniferous.
Coniferous.
It's time to color the other leaves. Let's do red.
So I've decided that in my vision there's a little tiny bush at the foot of this tree. Because why not, right?
Make its hands different color.
I love that you decided to do sort of like a comic with your picture today. So
Actually, really not.
well,
I didn't really do a comic.
oh, you made a joke.
It's not a comic though. It's Oaky and Mapley and Maple.
Oaky and maple.
And they're telling the joke.
Nice. I like that. I got two of my art cards finished today. What if I put some apples in this tree? That seems a little bit far off there to have an apple stuck over there. So making leaves, you don't have to get super duper detailed on it. This kind of looks neat though. The super detail looks kind of neat. That's a style. That's a decision. If you want to make something quite, you know, cramp your hand up and try to do it.
I had a foot cramp this morning.
You had a foot cramp this morning. My goodness, how did you get rid of the foot cramp?
I walked it off.
Walked it off.
And it hurt.
I can imagine. Maybe you have like a leaf falling in the air. The leaves
Oh
are
wow, burnt
falling.
umber is brown.
Hmm?
Just realized burnt umber is a lot browner. than
Burnt
regular
umber is a
brown.
lot browner. Burnt umber is like brown with a tinge of red.
That's good because that's what I'm looking for. That's the color of the seed pods.
So if you imagine it's like the umber itself has been heated up and all burnt. Make it darker. So yeah, you can do little fallen leaves. If you're doing fallen leaves, I like to do sort of more of a crescent shape, and then it looks like so here's a closer up thing, so just a half circle with the point. And imagine that leaf is folded along its stem, and then you can sort of maybe add the other half coming out there so it looks like it's folded. You can fold it over like there's point's going to be there, or maybe the other half's coming out there. Again, it's sort of got that crescent moon shape. That's a way to bend them or make leaves sort of move like paper, which I like to do. This is such a teeny little picture. It's a little messier when I bring it up closer. Not that that's a problem. This is just black and white. I'm not going to color today. Just... It's been what I was doing all day today, was coloring and drawing. So I'm doing something fun and light. I make it sound like drawing all day is a bad thing. It's not. It's a lot of fun.
The only downside is that your hands cramp by the end.
You do get a little tired by the end. It's true.
I can barely write a whole page without my hand getting cramped.
Well, you are probably writing a lot at school, aren't you?
Yep.
And those tree facts, or tree leaf facts, or leaf trivia was courtesy of Miss Rainbow's presentation she's going to be doing, so thank you for helping her practice. I mean, I don't think she's gonna
trivia questions.
No, you're not gonna be asking trivia questions.
But I will be doing a presentation about trees.
So you might hear those facts again if you happen to know Miss Rainbow's. I'm just putting a little tiny white dot on the edge of the apples because that's my reflection point. Like the sun would be hitting it there, and this guy doesn't have as much of one. It just has a small reflection point from the ground. Because why not?
I like how the little seed pods in the seed pod thing there that we have at school, those seed pods from the tree.
Yep.
The trees. They're almost exactly the same color as the backdrop, so I didn't notice that they were seed pods until like recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just put a squirrel in the tree because it's fun.
Sleepies.
All right. Well, we are getting close to the end of our time. You're starting to get dark over there under that camera. Are you getting a little dark? Camera.
Because it is turning night.
It is really dark outside our window here. So this is my quick sketch, outdoor sketch. This silly little squirrel out there. And the branches. Slightly peeking out of that tree. And this one is that little experiment I thought we'd try. Why not? See what we like to draw so many leaves. What do you think? We already have our topic for next week, don't we? Do you want to tell everybody? It might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it does mean something to somebody who is a good supporter of our show.
And he's my dad.
And he's your dad. Next week we're going to draw
Tron.
We're going to make little Tron characters of ourselves and draw Tron as a cute little chibi. So I'm excited to do that. It'll be our December 1st. And then we hope you guys have some suggestions for what you would like to do to celebrate the holidays. What images you would like to draw for celebrating the holidays. And we're going to do one every week until Christmas time. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas. Maybe you celebrate Hanukkah. Or maybe you celebrate Kwanzaa or some other holiday-related activity. And you want to dress something that represents that, let us know in the comments here or send us a DM.
Direct message.
Direct message to Sam I and Art, and we will put your suggestions together and come up with December schedule. There's a little cat here.
I love how you're talking about what you're drawing, and I don't even know if it's completely to the viewers.
Well, if you ever watch me do a live show besides today, like on Twitch or once in a while I do a live show here, I do tend to talk to the canvas and what I'm doing in the picture. Like I might say something like, "Squirrel, what are you doing in that tree?" And then I'll draw a squirrel. And anyway, very entertaining. Just realized my camera might be a little fuzzy. Well, it's just my face. It's not important.
Your face is important. If you don't have a face, you can't talk, you can't see, you can't eat things. You can't even smell things.
Well, I mean, seeing it is not necessarily that important. And we'll fix it for next time. So you ready to move over?
No.
It's happening.
I have a small detail that I want to add.
Add your small detail quick, and then you can show everybody a picture, and I'm going to move the video camera over. I'm just going to keep drawing other details in here. And you get to see that I just like to draw messy. Messy, 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 messy. And I don't mind. This is one of my favorite things to do because Miss Rainbow's, when you were little, this is something that you would always add in a picture. I'm going to add it right here because this is a tribute. I would get these beautiful landscapes and this picture that would show underground
And 3 little worms.
and a family of worms.
One for each of my family. 3 little worms.
Yeah, that's a rock. That's not one of the worms. There's 3 worms. Rock. And I would always get these lovely little pictures, and I kept a lot of them that Miss Rainbow's would do of this worm family. And sometimes it would even come with something like this. Worm family. And I'd be like, I would have missed that. So there,
Sometimes
leaves.
I even named my worms.
Yeah, you'd even have names for them. So, leaves. Are you ready? Get the camera on over here and show us your detail you've added. And we will get going for another day. You ready? Steady. It's me and her. There you go.
This little picture is called Surrounded in Pine Needles.
Surrounded in pine needles. Super cool. It's all the different leaves. I love your little oak leaf. And, oh, it's adorable. Your maple leaf. That's great. Well done. I like how you've taken what we talked about today and put it into your own picture. I hope you guys had some fun doing your own leaves, and maybe you came up with some cool creative like that, or you did a scene like I did.
Thanks for watching Draw Me Kids Edition, episode 82, Leaves.
Every time you say a number, it surprised me.
Yay.
Yay! We hope you enjoyed making your own leaf and noticing that some basic shapes, like the oval, can be turned into a whole bunch of different leaves, and your imagination can make them even cooler. Also, the jokes were pretty awesome, too.
Yeah. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video with all your friends. That way nobody misses Draw Me Kids Edition ever again.
Whoa. So, we will see you guys next time. Same time on YouTube every week. And if you want to catch us live, we're live on Facebook at 4 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.